before I meet with the person, I sit in 30 minutes of trance. And I do this all, when I meet with a person, it's all online, it's all virtual. But I sit in 30 minutes of trance and I get all the information. And I'm writing as I'm sitting in trance, and I'll write down all the chords that I see, who the buffer spirit is, who the guardian is. I see past timelines and SOSs, and I'm writing all that information down. So then when I come into the conversation with them in person, I have a little bit of an outline of what to follow. But I only ask specific information from your guardian, and that is always information that is based in clarity, understanding, love, compassion. Compassion is my favorite one, and empathy. Those are the 5 different points that I always ask to look in on. There are many times when I'll be speaking to someone and a buffer spirit comes in, and that buffer spirit is very, very angry. There's a lot of trauma based in this. Unfortunately, a lot of suicides have a lot of trauma that come in. But I don't ask any questions that are based in fear, denial, anything that kind of takes the energy into a darker form. I don't ask any of those questions, because then I'll get that information and I'm trying to help the person who is living elevate. So again, I ask the components of love, compassion, clarity, understanding, and empathy to give me the information that I need to hear. Let me give you an example of an experience that I had that helped me kind of gauge where this individual was at to get them to illuminate the right way. I was having a conversation with my sister and her husband. My sister is highly intuitive. The husband is also intuitive. He just didn't understand anything that had to do with what my sister was able to do. He didn't have an understanding. And it appeared to be this energetic wall between the two of them. And she so badly wanted to be seen, he so badly wanted to understand, they just couldn't remove this wall. So I'm sitting and having a conversation with them, and I'm thinking, well, how can I help remove this wall? And in that moment, my niece walks past, my sister's daughter, and her guardian is connected to her. The guardian says, tell him this. Now, the guardian that came through was my brother-in-law's great-grandmother. And she says, tell him this information. It's going to get him more curious. So I say, okay, here's some information that I have. She's coming in the room, and she tells me she's in the room, and she wants to give you some more evidence. Her name has the letter B in it, and it's a really big B. I don't know if it's Barbara or Beverly, but it's a really loud, punctuated B. And he says, that's so funny, because her name is Phoebe. Literally, Phoebe. So that was his opening of, oh, I get it. And then what she showed me is, here's what I look like in a picture that he has. Here's my favorite jewel. Here's the favorite dessert that I like to make. Have him do some more research, and he's gonna find out all this information is real. He does. He finds out that it was real, and that energetic wall between my sister and her husband dropped. And all of a sudden, she felt like she was being seen, and he felt like he could see her. And from now on, they have wonderful conversations intuitively. The first thing I do in a session is I like to have fun, and I always ask when I'm in trance before I meet the person, I always ask, what are they gonna wear today? And what happens is their buffer spirit will come in and say, well, they look good in this, they look good in that, they love to wear this, but they're gonna wear this today. So when I turn on my Zoom and I see this person show up and they're wearing exactly what the buffer spirit says, I like to use that as a reflection to say, so here's what I wrote down. You were going to be wearing this, and sometimes it's so specific that it's a pattern, like this is the pattern shirt this person is going to be wearing. And I show that to the person as evidence so they can understand that even though we are making our everyday choices, our choices are actually being influenced by echoes and reverberations of things that are in the spirit world.